Our story begins in 1725, in the small Serbian village of Kisiljevo. A peasant named Petar Blagojević had died, but 10 days later, villagers swore they saw him alive, visiting their homes at night. Soon after, several of them mysteriously died. The panic grew so intense that villagers begged the Austrian authorities, remember, northern Serbia was under Habsburg rule, to intervene. And they did. A team of officials, accompanied by a priest and soldiers, exhumed Blagojević's body. To their horror, he wasn't decomposed. His hair and nails had grown, and fresh blood stained his mouth. They staked him through the chest, and according to their written report, blood gushed out and the body groaned. This official document is preserved in Austrian archives. And with it, Europe's first officially recorded vampire case was born. Only a few years later, in 1732, another Serbian village made headlines. This time, the story spread across Europe's newspapers. A soldier named Arnold Paole had once claimed he was attacked by a vampire during his service in Turkish lands. He admitted to eating dirt from the vampire's grave and smearing himself with its blood to cure the curse. But after Paole's death, villagers swore he too returned from the grave, attacking livestock and people. When Austrian doctors and officers investigated, they found Paole's corpse, perfectly preserved, blood flowing from his mouth. They also dug up other recent corpses and claimed to find the same. The case was published in Leipzig's scientific journal, the Commercium Literarium, causing an explosion of vampire hysteria across Europe. Even scholars at the time debated if vampires were real. This wasn't just folklore anymore, it was medicine, science, and state reports fueling the fire. In the Balkans, vampire belief went back centuries. Unlike Stoker's elegant count, the Balkan vampire was grotesque, bloated, ruddy, sometimes animal-like. It wasn't a seducer, it was a monster. Villagers took no chances. Suspected vampires were staked, beheaded, burned, or buried face down with stones on their chest. In some areas of Serbia, garlic, hawthorn, and holy water became traditional protections. These practices were so widespread that the Austrian Empire even issued decrees to limit vampire trials. They feared superstition was undermining imperial authority. And yet, the reports kept coming. Between 1725 and 1755, dozens of so-called vampire epidemics were recorded, mainly in Serbia and Wallachia. Europe was obsessed. French philosophers, German doctors, even Voltaire wrote about the Balkan vampire. By the 1800s, vampire mania spread into literature. The word vampire entered Western languages thanks to Balkan reports. From there, Gothic writers like John Polidori and Sheridan Le Fanu turned the vampire into a literary character. But it was Bram Stoker who cemented the myth in 1897. While his Dracula was inspired by Transylvanian geography and legends, the fuel, the terror of the vampire, came directly from these Balkan cases. When you read about Count Dracula rising from the grave, remember, long before fiction, Balkan villagers swore they saw the same with their own eyes. So the real Dracula isn't just Transylvania's castle. He's Petar Blagojević in Kisiljevo. He's Arnold Paole in Medveda. He's the villagers who lived in fear of the dead rising at night. Bram Stoker gave us the Gothic monster we know today. But the roots of Dracula are here, in the Balkans, where history, fear, and folklore made the dead walk again. If you enjoyed this dive into the real history of Dracula, subscribe to Strange History Vault, where the past is stranger than fiction.